Are you wondering what to put on your acupuncture practice website? By the end of this video, you'll have 6 key components that you must put on your website, along with a whole bunch of other tips on how to easily, simply, and quickly design your website. I'm Alyssa Dazet, the 6-figure acupuncturist, and I went from broke and struggling and almost giving up in my practice to 6 figures year after year after year. And now I've helped thousands of acupuncturists all over the world with the success of their practices, and now I'm going to help you too. So it's time to make your acupuncture practice website, but you have no idea what to put on it. Let me clear up some confusion for you. Firstly, websites are not that important. This is busy work. You want to be sure that you are not focusing all of your energy on busy work and instead focusing your energy on things that will actually build your practice, like getting patients on your table. I don't believe in building a practice through SEO, which is search engine optimization for your website so that people find you online. I believe the most impactful way to build a long-term, successful, sustainable, and fulfilling practice is through relationship building and word of mouth. So this is why a website is not that important to have. Yes, you absolutely want to have something online so that when people search and Google your name, they find you. But you can actually even start your practice with simply a social media business page. The website is really not that important. I built my practice off of a free website that I designed really quickly on Wix, and I've now coached tons of acupuncturists who've not made a website their main marketing piece in their practice, some of them even building a successful practice without a website. So designing the perfect website is not necessary for the success of your practice. I encourage you to always use a website builder that is free, especially when you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of money. There are incredible free website builders out there these days, like Wix, Squarespace, and WordPress. Also, when you're building your first website, don't be worried about having it be tons and tons of pages. Everything we're actually going to talk about today could literally be on one web page. It can just be a landing page that someone gets to when they Google you with all this information on it. Keep it simple. Don't make things complex for you. Later on down the road, when you have excess money to invest in your website, if you'd like to build something different, go for it. The entire time I had my practice, I always just had my free website and the very first design that I ever popped up there. It had nothing to do with my practice success. Word of mouth marketing had everything to do with my practice success. So don't get caught up in the busy work and use a lot of your energy and focus and time on creating the most beautiful or perfect website, because it's not what's gonna make or break you. So here are the 6 things to include on your website so that you can have a professional looking page and be ready to go. 1. Share your personal story of why you became an acupuncturist. There are so many incredible stories of why people become practitioners. Patients love this, and they'll often choose to come to you as a practitioner because of your personal story. I became an acupuncturist because I had open heart surgery at the age of 23. This was a very eye-opening experience to Western medicine, which led me to believe there had to be more to healing the body than this, and I became an acupuncturist. Now, this story was on my website, and people would find it and love it. They would be so inspired by it, and they would book appointments with me. So share your journey and story with the world. 2. Your smiling face. Happiness is the best marketing tool. Sometimes I pop on acupuncturist websites and there is no picture of them at all on that website. Everything with building a successful practice is about relationship building. Pictures of who you are and your smiling, warm, welcoming face builds trust. And what is the foundation to a successful practice? Trust. So make sure that you put your picture on your website and have it be a beautiful, smiling face. 3. Be sure to list your office hours, your location, and your contact information. As an acupuncturist, one thing that is so important is having healthy boundaries. So you want to be sure that you set your office hours and you stick to those office hours. Do not schedule patients outside of those hours on a regular basis because this is one of the biggest things that leads to practitioner burnout. So when you set your hours and then you put your hours on your website, that makes it even more concrete for you to be able to stick to those hours. Number 4, have an online scheduler. Now there are a few important pieces to this. It's great to have an online scheduler on your website for new patients that find you online. It makes it really simple for them to schedule in their first appointment with you. But all you need on your online scheduler are just a very small amount of hours, just a few options if someone finds you online. Don't put your entire open schedule online. You can put a note on the online scheduler that says to contact you for more openings if none of these work. 99% of your patients need to be rescheduled before leaving your practice. So the point of having an online scheduler is not for the bulk of your patients to schedule themselves. It's just to have a schedule online for those that find you online. Occasionally, one of your patients will leave without rescheduling, saying that they will reschedule themselves. That's fine, but if they don't reschedule within 24 hours, make sure you follow up with that patient. It is our job as practitioners to get everyone scheduled. Never, ever, ever leave that in the hands of the patient. So the online scheduler is more just for show, so that someone can see that you have openings in your schedule when they find you online and can contact you for further openings if none of those work. But the majority of the time, you're not going to be using your online scheduler. You're going to be rescheduling your patients yourself. Number 5, have your fees. I know when I'm searching online for whatever modality or service I'm looking for, I love seeing someone's fees online. I really appreciate having access to that and having that information. So I like to give that same courtesy to anyone looking for acupuncture appointments. This will also help you with your money mindset and owning the price of your fees too, because you can just assume that anyone that contacts you already knows your fees because you have them placed publicly on your website. So that gives you even less of a reason to cave to giving discounts. State your fees and confidently charge them because you're worth it. And number 6. Now, number 6 is actually optional. Eventually, you can put testimonials on your website, but it's not necessary. It's actually much more powerful and beneficial to your practice to have your patients give you testimonials and reviews on Google Reviews and on Yelp. So firstly, I would ask your patient to review you on websites like those, and later on, you can ask them if it's okay if you also place that testimonial on your website. Make sure that you get permission from your patient to use their testimonial. This just in. As I was editing this video, it was brought to my attention some posts in a Facebook group along with an email that had just come in from my alumni acupuncture school. Another thing to add to this list is that your website is compliant with the Americans with Disability Act. What this means is that your website needs to be accessible to those with disabilities. I'm just learning about this myself, so I don't have a lot of details, but the information that I do have, I'll post below this video. Be sure that your website is compliant when you're creating it. This isn't an optional thing. This is something that is required. So be sure that you research this and make sure that your website is accessible to those with disabilities and compliant with the Americans with Disability Act. Now that you know what to put on your website, there are tons of other things that you must know in order to set a strong foundation to build a successful practice off of when you're first getting started. Find these things in my 6-figure acupuncturist course. Go to sixfigureacupuncturist.com/sixfigureacupuncturist to find out everything on this course. I have an entire module only on how to start up your practice. There's so much more that goes into it than just your website. Check out this video next for electronic health records lowdown. If you like this video, give it a like, leave a comment, and share it with an acupuncture buddy, because community is what we're creating to help our profession prosper. I love you, keep healing the world, and let's mainstream Eastern medicine.